or something. It means we're.
Oh, maybe I'm supposed
If anyone
to.
wants to watch it on YouTube, they can watch.
Maybe there's an email or
But we
something.
have
But
to.
then
Should go automatically, I think.
Should go automatically.
Yeah, YouTube.
Then they can participate.
Which account are you using?
Nico Tonesmo. It's this guy here. Nico Tonesmo. That's me.
Who is he?
That's me. You have to be.
Like when we start
Maybe we don't know.
publicizing more of these.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. But I invited them into this.
Not interesting.
I'll try to do it again. But I did it a few times.
Yes, correct. No.
And
It's the roundabout party today.
yeah,
Body. In
Wowzers. Who's DJing?
who's DJing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus.
Really?
So this is going to be recorded somewhere.
This is recording and it's playing on it. Every
But there's nobody there.
Maybe there's a kind of like.
How do you guys do when you communicate with them? You
We call.
phones regularly.
Yeah.
iPhone.
Hi.
We should try that.
Yeah. None of this stuff.
In Skype, yeah. Because Google is really immensely complex.
Yeah.
It's like so many stuff.
Yes.
Can you move it back now?
And somehow they always want your phone number.
Really?
Yeah. And this is what. But for now, they're the only ones that have this recording thing. Of course, you could point a camera to the computer and record a Skype. It's fine.
Or yeah, you can record your
No,
screen.
you
Yeah.
can record. Maybe Luisa, there has to be a record the audio and the video.
What's up, Nick?
There's an extra person now.
So are
No,
we?
it's you.
Do Luisa and Andrea need to do something now, or
Luisa has to book
Okay.
a conference.
Sorry.
no? Yes. But I mean, like
Hello?
confirm a request or something, or
No,
Hey,
we're getting one.
try with Andrea because I don't think Luisa is joining.
Maybe
Andrea.
Yeah. Okay. So he's in there now. He's just loading up.
Who is AK?
Andrea?
We're beaming up Andrea.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, but for just like a general.
Talk to the boss.
Yeah, but so you're the boss. Sam, you're going to be our boss for today for the questions, leading.
Andrea!
Hello.
Hey!
Hey. We managed. We did it.
Finally.
I think we managed to get to Moscow.
Yeah, where is Moscow?
I don't know. She was there like 1 hour ago. Now I don't know if she still.
Yeah.
Because she was in conference, so I don't know if she.
Okay,
Not this
maybe Valentina, you can go here next to Ali.
We can also
So I
fly
can see you
down.
right now. I can move back.
I want to move that. Maybe we can also, for example, save because yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. She took.
I'm going to celebrate by just going.
1 second. I'm writing to Luisa. Così.
Yeah. I will go to the toilet for a second.
Oh my God, there's so many people.
No, I think. Make the
Wow, look
picture.
at this. It's like a Christmas dinner.
Let's go. Come on, Ted.
I don't see anything.
Okay, we start. Yeah.
Do you guys like this stuff? Do you guys
Oh
drink?
yeah, can you send some?
That's more for Moscow people. 1 second, guys. How many people there is? How does it work? I don't.
How many people?
What?
What was the question?
How many people is now in the hangout? It's like you in Berlin. There is.
This is Berlin.
Berlin.
London.
Okay. Hello.
Where?
Meeting.
Ah.
So we start without Luisa and then we can see Jules later.
Let's wait a couple minutes because she was waiting for us to contact her before. No, it's not so nice to start. Let's see reply quickly. 1 second.
The bandwidth we're using here. All this data we're putting through the
Yeah.
So every time somebody speaks, the
Screen.
is responsible. Well, if everybody speaks
Yeah.
at the same time, let's just scream at the same time.
Yeah. Let's start that. Yeah.
Should we start and then Louise just...
Well, we're just giving it a moment. Next one, like,
Okay.
we'll be waiting now.
Where are you guys right now? You're in collective disaster office.
The headquarters. Yeah.
Well,
This is
HQ.
one of the headquarters. There is a piece in Brussels, a piece in Berlin, and a piece in Moscow.
Ah, yeah.
yeah, we have the lobby.
So we are.
So Andrea is in Brussels.
I am Andrea and I'm in Brussels.
Yeah, how was this lecture? You went the other day.
Was nice, interesting. Was nice. Was this for forensic architect. They do like they're activist artist architect, and they do like trial through public media or also in court about real case of murdering in Palestine or war or stuff like that, and they redo all the forensic study and then they put it on the media and in the court. That was very interesting. I didn't knew them.
We're seeing the exhibition here in Berlin, but
What?
the lecture.
Wow.
We all,
Joking.
we all did the
This is live, man. You might watch it.
So how do you record?
It's not me.
So when we're talking to these people over here, should we be?
Is there someone recording?
Yeah.
The Google Hangout is being recorded.
Then I'm not going to show my ass then.
Okay. It's your choice. You can see.
I don't know, let's start maybe and then how do we start? What's the story?
That's a good question.
What?
Are we waiting for Google or not, Andrea?
I'm back.
Oh, you were gone.
Yeah. Okay, so
Shall we start or we wait a bit more for Luisa?
it's up to you. For me, we can wait. I have time a bit, and we can wait because she's
Okay, let's start.
in a new symposium, so I don't know if she can get out in and out easily. I don't know what's. She was there at 5, and now I don't know. So
All
maybe
right,
we
that's okay. Then we can...
Okay.
How do we start?
We have some questions, but maybe we explain, Andrea, what we're doing.
Yeah.
because I guess you guys even. So this project is called Conference Call, and we're kind of doing these interviews through G-Hang to kind of document all these small collectives working in architecture and design, and doing it by using these tools of like Skype and Gmail and text, whatever. And you guys are the second interview.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But they've just continued talking to them.
Yeah. And so we're also interested in all these things, how you guys communicate, how you guys organize yourselves in terms of work, and all these little things that we also share as a collective. And
Yeah.
we have a bunch of questions, and the first, I mean, we don't have to follow this strictly, but the first is concerning the name. So where it comes from, and how did you start?
Peter?
Can you repeat the question? Can you repeat the question?
Where the name comes from?
The name. Ah, okay.
From a book and write, actually.
Well, it comes from a dinner, actually, I think. That we had with Gia.
Yeah. It was on the U-Bahn. It was on the
What was the
U-Bahn.
dinner on the
It's dinner on the U-Bahn.
I think I remember really well that we had we were on the U-Bahn, and we were talking about after Barcelona. We met actually in Barcelona, all of us. That's the origins of the group. We were doing Valentina and Gia had applied with Peter to a call from the MSX in Barcelona in 2012, and they won, and then they needed like kind of a team to do the project. So Andrea and Rita were invited, I was invited, and
some more friends of Gia.
yeah, and Chris.
Yeah, it actually happened at that period in Barcelona. Many people worked in Barcelona at the time that we didn't know about. Like you were there as well. And somehow everything came a bit together. Very incidental that it happened, that it started with some part of the radio and some friends, and yeah. And then after that, no, but that's like some American people as well were there.
Yeah, there was a project.
Yeah,
There was a small competition, and you won the competition.
Yeah.
And then later in the U-Bahn or in I don't remember exactly, we were thinking, okay, what could be a possible name to create for these collaborations? Yeah, all over that we know might campaign for different projects. So we wanted to have kind of an umbrella with all of this under, right? So, and there, it was a joke, collective disaster, and actually, we never really concluded.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody really liked it, but I remembered it because it was really, really good at that time.
Yeah.
And I just kept repeating it, and then it's like,
And we also had different, I mean, we all interpret this name differently. Like, I think Rosario was imagining it more like, so we also kept talking
I'm losing you guys. Fuck.
that day.
Yeah, me too.
And when this call for Brussels came up for the park design, I was planning to do it with Andrea and Luisa, like just a few of us, but then we realized that the last days before we submit that we had the name. So suddenly I remember collective disaster, that okay, maybe it's a good time to start doing things under this name. And, yeah, so,
No, so we actually did another application. With Andreas and some other people from Andreas' friends from Brussels.
that was also with the
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. There was this other one in.
Andrea?
Yeah, we did also before an application for a fall in New York, and then something similar in some Russian place, an art festival in Argov, I don't remember. And that we also did do as with collective disaster were the first steps of. There are still, I think, Valentina already mentioned that there are still a lot of different interpretation of what this can be and what this will be, but it's fine, I believe. We don't need to, to clarify everything from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's for the moment it's very project based, I think, no?
Yeah.
It's a very
We see
up to the.
We need a platform. We use people from the network, from the collective. And it can be different combinations. It's not always all of it. It can be still doing it from actually from all of it. But it's just a name to be able to apply with for funding or to write the application with. And it's within the network, because it's not collective is really with the wrong name, because it's really just a network. There are some, I don't know, as a publishing house, it gives some strength as a researcher. We have some biologist friends that if we need one, we just drag them into the collective. And then the collective just is as big as the project needs it to be.
So how many members, like, not fixed, but the core?
Yeah, the core, I would say, is
the core.
Is us.
Yeah, it's
Plus
us.
Luisa,
Yeah, and Luisa.
Okay.
But yeah, we applied with the Brussels project. There was also Dr. Aiko, and there was also Ayumi, and many other people.
And that, the Brussels one, was the project that kind of brought things.
Yeah, that was the first project under the name.
Yeah, that one got realized.
Yeah.
How did it go with the Folly proposal? What, like what?
Because we're going to apply to that.
Sorry, can you repeat?
The question is how the Folly, you applied last year?
Yeah, there was a call for this Socrates Sculpture Park in New York.
Yeah.
And it was an open call for entry for the design, a kind of Folly sculpture architecture space installation, and also the building of it realization. And then at the time I remember sending an email to all of us, more or less. There were also like another couple of friends of mine, of us from Rotterdam and from Italy. And was like, okay, there is this thing who wants to join. I was thinking to do it. There is someone who wants to help. And then there was Rosario that did quite some help. And I remember Peter did a bit something, I think. Yeah, Peter and Valentina. And it's always like, I don't know, for the moment it's going quite randomly. It's not that it's very structured. It's like there is an idea, someone say, guys, can we do this? Who would like to participate, to join?
You work from different spaces, like you can work from Brussels and Berlin, like
Yeah, from different years.
It depends. Like last year, I was in Brussels very often. So.
It really depends, because if the project allows it, then you can do it, and if the project needs really physical presence and there's budget for flights, then of course we try to fly. We prefer to just be one space and do it from there.
But for the competitions, you work.
Yeah, somebody has an idea, we mail, we Skype. Yeah. But it works actually very well. I've never had like any problems with it, I think. It's always like somebody sees the call and has like a vague idea, he asks who wants to be involved, they make
done it so much, and I think the project that will change a lot after our first meeting in Brussels.
Sure.
Like what we had designed with Andrea and Luisa. I mean, it was a crazy period. We also had the Athens biennial days. It was all very last moment. And I was totally sick, and we were trying to figure. Also, I was visiting my parents, which I hadn't seen like for like a year. And in those last moments, we had to fix everything. And plus, I got sick, and I had to visit still my grandma. And then Andrea and Luisa did not sleep at all for 1 night to go and submit the competition the next morning.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's normal. And I think, I don't know, it's worth it to say that it's a little bit just a situation that I think we all faced, because we met in Rotterdam, we became friends there, then everybody goes in different place, and you still like to do stuff together, but you have to find way for doing stuff together and to keep these collaborations up. And I think this is a nice project because they bring back also a little bit the friendship and the professional thing, and is this idea of just being doing the stuff with the people that you like, that are not always just next door.
Yeah, and I think that's also that makes it nice to do this project, because it's not work. It's something because we all have our own jobs, and it's something that we do. I mean, it is work, of
Speak for
course.
yourself.
There are different about this. There are different entry in the thing.
You would like to.
Yeah, but for me, maybe the question is whether this is like a reaction to a situation of precarity, that everybody has to have a fixed job, or like still respond to some kind of office, and we're doing the thing we like and we love on our spare time.
Yeah.
And would it, like, the question is, can we change that, and would it be possible, or are we enjoying this kind of freedom that allows us
Well,
to
I think this is
jump
personal.
in?
I think if some of us want to do this full time, they can do it. They can still rely on the part-time network that's involved. If in the end nobody wants to do it full time, it will still work, because it's just it's like just the friendship or the network. It's just really nice to go to Brussels, sleep with a guy in a flat, and like go to the
Yeah, of
club and
course,
build there.
but if this is
And
like,
that's really good.
I mean, can we in the future, like, rely on that as also as a way of living, and
Is it
but it's
sustainable?
economic,
Sustainable.
if how do we find a way, or are we thinking of finding ways to?
But you just started, so these
Yeah,
things
you're not
also,
thinking of
you're in
finding
this,
But I don't think anybody of us imagines that this becomes his full-time job, because we're all involved in many projects,
Yeah.
and we all have our own
which is
projects
also
as
common
well.
with other collectives. They're in
Yeah.
5 different collectives, 6 different collectives, and they're constantly.
I mean,
Yeah,
it happened
there.
Or we share your personal practice.
Yeah.
Which goes with
Yeah.
different directions. I mean, Peter is graphic designer.
Yeah. Main job, and then side.
Curator of stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it can happen, of course, if one of us doesn't have a job for 6 months, and there's a project that needs somebody full-time 6 months,
He
then
will take the.
Yeah, somebody has to find the time.
So that flexibility is good, not being so rigid.
But yeah, it's not as rigid structure. That's one of my question. I would like to be culture. If we talk about
Yeah.
the job, we think there is a value in this kind of flexibility. But the question was
Yeah.
reversing the. I think there is like great potential and great flexibility.
Then it's even more flexible. With this.
Yeah.
Around the next market. Right, guys?
I have to say sometimes some piece the connection sometimes is not perfect, but I'm able to follow. But if I don't answer immediately, just repeat. Yeah, I can hear, but just now and then it's a little bit robotic.
And
Yeah, not so well. I can. It's more the sound. I can hear Dan and Peter, but then the further back you are, the less I can hear you.
Yeah, that's also true.
We have to speak more. The microphone.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
just look at-
direct call there.
yeah, we should put a microphone.
yeah, we should get an external mic.
Yeah.
Can I have a go at articulating a complicated question?
Yes, please.
In the last interview we did with Tele-Internet Cafe, we were talking about their name as well at the start, and we were talking about this idea of investing something of your kind of manifesto or your way of thinking into a name. So they talked about the Tele-Internet Cafe being this very interesting place in the kind of urban context of being somewhere where you can drop in and use the different kind of services there, so the internet and obviously coffee and all the different things, and you can kind of use it as a one-stop shop. And this somehow was how they was inspiring for them as a kind of piece of city, and we kind of reacted with the ONOFF thing of that being something of our manifesto. So I wondered, going back to the collective disaster thing, does that, beyond this idea of like the positives of disaster as a kind of rethinking of things, does it affect your day-to-day, the way you think? Like, do you ever look back to your name and it kind of makes you think about what it's all about?
Well, I think that you wrote something about our...
It's
That's very good. We have a statement which is really good. We just know it here.
online.
It's online. You can read it. But it's, yeah, that's very good.
Yes, yes. So it's my interpretation, and I think a different view of that. And you also had comments. I think nobody was really very active because, yeah, I don't know.
But the name for us is it started a little bit just, you know, in human right or restaurant right. We don't even remember. But it started somehow as like just like, oh yeah, we should use this name because it's always so disastrous or it's complicated to get ourselves together. We never really thought of it as a real name. I just really liked it somehow. The name Collective Disaster, it somehow sounded really good.
Yeah.
Or we needed a name for that application, so we just, because I repeated it so often, I think.
But he asks something else. He asks now that if we look back at this name, knowing more, does this bring any more connections or any more extra thought about it? Like if we revisit this, our first, because of course our first choice was more instinctive or something or so, let's say. And right, Nick, if I'm getting the question right, is that if we think over again this choice about the name, which was very quick, let's say, that any new ideas for a manifesto or something?
Yeah, I guess just this idea about investing a bit of thinking in the name, and then, you know, when you're doing the projects, you sometimes can go back to it, and it kind of has a kind of touchstone to think about the way you guys work, what it's all about. It's more than just you know, the name.
Yeah.
But maybe not.
I think it's a difficult thing with names, because a name, it's just you make the name, no? But the name is only as strong as the work you produce with it. And the name on itself, it kind of stands for the disastrous way of I don't know, not doing it professionally or like semi-professionally or within other work, or it's just a complex thing, this whole collective disaster, no? It's not, we have an office, we have clients, and we work. It's more, it's based on many people, many factors, many applications that we get or not get, or it's just very somehow disastrous.
Yeah, if I can add something about this.
Yeah.
Like thinking back to the name, I think there is for sure something catching the name that we liked, and instinctively we felt for it. And then also looking back, you can see that that kind of makes sense in a lot of situations that we encounter, and to all the different connotation that you can give to it, it always kind of makes sense. But we also had this conversation between us about how much we should have, how strict should be our manifesto, and how specific should be then something that we all have to agree, or still something how loose it can be to be able to welcome people that clearly they have also very different path and point of view on things. So, for example, just to make an example, I was a little bit skeptical about the first description that we had. That was too much related to, like, for me, for example, about the economic crisis that we are living now, and so this specific disaster that we are living and getting out of that. And then, so at the end, it became something like to discuss between us. That was nice. Also, was a nice topic to talk about. So it's a name that came by chance, but it brought us, I think, more things to discuss, more topics, and it works in a way. It fits with our approach and in a lot of different ways.
And sorry, I think it made us reflect on the fact that we don't agree in everything, and we can still work together.
And you were
No,
late
because-
and working. And
Yeah, but I think at the beginning we were trying to find like a common understanding or a common, everything should be common, and at some point we realized that this is not going to happen.
Exactly.
Okay, but that's the reference to the practice and the changing of ways of working and all this stuff. But from outside our interpretation of mind, if we look at a project like a compost toilet with beatboxing and all these kind of events and managing waste at a very small scale and decentralizing waste management, you connect it to disaster and ecology and crisis and all this stuff. So it's there, and there are multiple kind of streams of thought in this big name called disaster.
But it's always good also to have the outside view.
Yeah,
like the psychoanalyst perspective.
But the thing that's the word disaster, it really has something. It somehow starts from scratch, no? Because you have disaster. Yeah. So every project we do is kind of after disaster, no? So you start whatever, and you can actually, it's also the type of projects we do. I think it's the public space, or it's somehow starting from zero always. It's never continuing on another project. It's
from scratch.
So that's somehow
on things that are slightly in crisis.
Yeah.
Public space.
Yeah.
Waste.
Yeah, or where there's debate, we can break it up just by using the name disaster. It's already controversial.
Yeah, but there's something in that, isn't there? That if you, in your name, even if you don't know, like you said at the start, it was kind of going with an instinct or with a kind of feeling, but you end up with a provocative name that's constantly, you question, kind of constantly brings kind of discussion around every project you do, because as well as if you have collective disaster doing a project, a playground for children, you immediately have to connect the word disaster. You have to question everything. So it's quite a effective tool in a way.
On the other hand, sometimes it might be bad to apply under the name collective disaster for some projects, because
we have the same problem. It's too unstable, the name, and people might think.
On and off, it's like a relationship.
These guys won't pull through, they won't. It'll be a disaster in the end, it'll be off, and so.
But maybe we can talk about the commitment that we have to take.
So you really tend also to use it specifically for the application to certain projects, like as a strategy, the name.
No,
because
it's not
if you do maybe like renovation of a bar, like you would never do it, but under this name then. But you just use it where you think it fits. Oh?
It's if we somehow if we see it fit, but it's not just the name we see fit. It's the platform, the connections we see fit. Wow. Like the application, like okay, this is something we can do with collective disaster because we have, I don't know, building knowledge, all the kind of stuff we need. But it's not that we would change the name and use the same team for that just because the name is.
So maybe we connect it to one of the projects so that we can kind of connect it to practice, to the temple. You guys kind of explain the concept and the restaurants. Because we also applied for park design. We applied with this.
The same year.
Yeah,
Brussels.
it was called Let's Get Wasted. And we wanted to do a little bar, like the kind, like using apples and just make drinks. And then we contacted Valentina to see if she could help us. She was like, yeah, well, I'm actually right now working on it, so that doesn't work. And then in the end, we didn't apply because of local connections. Because you needed all these local connections, and there's so many papers that we just.
This was a nice thing about this project actually, that they really wanted to make it somehow real. So they really put a lot of effort in finding local players, because they didn't want like international people coming there for a week or 2 weeks, building something up and then leaving. They wanted somebody there that can stay there for 6 months, operate it, activate it, and be there all the time.
There were a lot about production, you know, it was not just an installation that you go and you
One way pop up thing.
Yeah, like all the other installations that you just see, or you walk on it, or you I don't know, swing with it or something, but really that it produces a resource. And
because of the farm element and the
exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
And
if they,
The really was also establishing local relations, like strengthening things that are already there.
because they want to, of course, make this park sustainable and not clean it completely of the map that it's done. So they need people, that activate and that stay there.
And actually, all the other installations kind of stayed, only ours.
Yeah.
Because on the other installations there were much more people from the neighborhood involved.
Yeah, also
And they
much.
also, I mean, they turned them a little bit into small businesses. You know, they made an organization, like in German we call it a Verein, I don't know what's the name of it. Like an association. And then they could sell, you know, like a cafe, where they could sell things or give workshops and get some.
The locals could work there.
Yeah, so the idea was to have a seed funding from the government, which was a whole park design for this year. And we'll go together and now they're hoping to continue with this cafe, bar, workshop space, or they can keep earning some money. So it became a job for some local people.
That's going to keep going until next year then? Or?
I mean, they don't really know because their business plan is not working so perfectly. They were really much depending on this fund they had, which was not a lot, but still it was.
But this park will stay and will grow. So this park there, it's suddenly like one of the biggest parks in Brussels. Gentrify the area, it will have impact on many things permanently. So now it's just this first phase of getting the people living around to participate, to see, to use it, to see the animals, like to come there, so that they get this place from the beginning. It's not something like suddenly they have this park and used in a really bad way, because there's a lot of criminality in this area, that they really feel we have planted these plants in our park.
Can you talk through the project though? I don't know anything about it really.
Uh-huh.
Can you explain it?
And like the connection with when people split together the whole time, but you guys are in Berlin, how did it actually work with the...
I mean, I tell you, I was there very often, and Andrea and Luisa were there. So,
the whole time?
Yeah, the whole time. So maybe Andrea can tell you about this.
There was like also something about the fact that our installation didn't stay in the park. It was mainly for maintenance reason, for security reason, and also because we were too obedient to the brief. So we were the only one that actually redesigned something that was unbuildable and completely be disposable after. All the other stuff would then make more problem to unbuild and to relocate and to destroy. And but there were several problems of safety and of maintenance with our installation. There were rapes inside the toilet, kind of rapes. There were like some awkward situations. There were like youngsters hanging around. There was something that we liked because there was an appropriation of the space, not the raping itself, but the the fact that that became a bit the meeting point of some people that they didn't have. I don't know. It's still people. And but this one was creating problems. They were not feeling confident in leaving that stuff there. There was at the beginning clochard sleeping inside the toilet, so then we have all the issue: close it, don't close it. There was the water. Several times the pipes get broken and they float the whole toilet. So it was a little bit more complex of all the other one in terms of maintenance and and safety and all this kind of stuff. So this is the reason why also our the tempo, the toilet that stayed mainly, and that for us I think was completely fine and no problem.
Yeah,
Just struggle.
Yeah. But Andrea, the question was like, how did it work? Because we were from a distance, and I'm saying that every time that something was broken,
This was the second. Yeah, this is. This was the second thing that I wanted to say exactly. That for us was like especially well, we were a lot there basically, very often, way too often sometimes. Everything that broke, they called us, and we had to go there. And this was also because we didn't manage from the beginning to have some local association on board with us, because when we did the application, when everything went very quick, so we didn't have the time to really involve in the team from the beginning someone from the neighborhood that was already part of the installation. Obviously, once the team that were built was a little bit harder. We get at the end of the story, we get some people helping us. There was this homeless, there was some youngster that they were helping us. But still, for us and for Luisa in particular, because I also still work in an office and a school, so sometimes I would not be there. And Luisa was going there very often. Also, the meeting with the neighborhood to get close to the people. There were like hours of endless meeting, of talking, just to get to know each other and to start to meet people and to know people. It was something that at the end really also affect the result of the project, because then the people, they start to know us, and through the presence on the site, like the presence there for this kind of project is very important. And this was something that
yeah, just maybe you can say also something about the change of the name, that maybe also made us quite known in the area, that our name, Temple of Holy Shit, was very insulting for the Muslim community there, so we were obliged to change it. So there was a lot of dialogue, and there was a bar, which is also there, is a Muslim bar, and this name, about changing the name, where Andrea and Luisa did a lot of work to communicate this, what we were doing, because of course they don't know what a dry toilet is, so this kind of educational aspect was also something you really did there.
Yeah, that's true. The thing of the name was a big issue at the beginning, because they all get very offended and very mad. So we meet them and we find another name with the Muslim and with the community of the neighborhood. And it's true that was like a conflict that give us the possibility of meeting people and of starting to build a relationship. So again, like in a way, you can see the disaster that we made by arriving with a name that was provocative, and we knew that. And then there was the first disaster that occurred during the process, that these people that wanted to burn the temple, that we were evil people, we were bringing the devil in the neighborhood, and this kind of crazy stuff. And out of this conflict came out actually the first possibility of getting a human relationship with the locals. So at the end, it was good. We made up this name together with them, and then.
How does the new name translate? The French name?
The factory of black treasure, the Black Treasure Factory. L'usine de trésor noir.
Because what the toilet produces in the end, it's terra preta, which is called black soil, which is a very fertile ground.
So there was like a lot of conflict in the kind of the few sore spots.
Yeah, there was like the whole community. I mean, it's a Muslim area there, so all the people were
very Muslim, a very extreme Muslim.
my question is, I guess, what was the proudest moment when you guys were like, yeah, like, this is good, or like, you know, there's
Actually, just that fact, we were very blown away by it in the beginning, like, oh fuck, we've changed the name, what the hell, like. But then once this dialogue started, or especially Andrea and Luis, they got to know all the people and all the owners of the local bars, and they became somehow allies, because together with them they made it into a new name. They had polls to choose a new name, and during that process they also explained them the project. So then they felt already more invested in the project because they understood what it was about, and then they had some.
Then we also had these really nice events. We did 2 or 3 big events, and one of them was the Saturnalia, which was a revival of an ancient pagan feast dedicated to the god Saturn, which in ancient Rome, Saturn was the god of agriculture, but also the god of the toilet. So they were very much informed that there is a clear link that we have to put the shit out to the field to make it fertile, right? So, and also that feast back in ancient times, it was a very egalitarian feast where everybody would put together on the same table, no matter of class and so on. So we liked this egalitarian idea, and we thought of making a tribute to Saturn, whom we called like a spirit and not really a god, because we thought that that would be again consulting for the neighborhood. So we did this festival, collaborated with a local association of young people, and they brought this beatbox guy who was actually champion, the Belgian champion of beatboxing. And then we watched the football match because it was football day, so we had to bring a TV and adapt to that situation too. Then we invited another local artist to do the free expression workshop, where we learned to look each other in the eye, build some trust and some contact with her. But that was actually really beautiful because we had, the Moroccan kids from the neighborhood, and also some older people, like parents. Really nice mixture.
But I think Alison's question was actually what is it about, because she didn't got the beginning of the story.
I get it now.
We kind of
So it is a dry toilet. Yeah, just to explain what the project is, it's a dry toilet in a public park.
I did not finish.
Oh, sorry. We can say.
And I wanted to say that the peak of the feast was at the end, where we had dinner. It was Ramadan, so we had to respect the habits of the neighborhood, so nobody of us ate or drink during that afternoon. And then we had to wait until the sun was down, and we moved to the cafe of Mohammed, which was on the side, but it's still a private cafe, a Muslim cafe, and we had a collaborative dinner together. And we cooked some food and a food truck with a chef that we brought from Open Kitchen, like another local association, and they cooked some Moroccan food, and then we ate.
I wondered another question about the name change. I'm obsessed with names. But you started with the Holy Temple of Shit.
Yeah.
And you talked about, I read that you talked about this kind of all the procedures that you had to do, like moving the full canisters of crap or piss like to the other zone. As rituals, I think you mentioned as rituals, and then the name changed to Factory of Black Soil or Coal or something.
Yeah, like
and then is there something also about this kind of the reality of doing those procedures over and over? Did it change from being a ritual and a kind of running it down on paper? It's this temple and these rituals of moving the waste to becoming the reality of it being a kind of factory, and these are the processes.
Yeah, it was more a fact. It was never really a ritual, the transportation of the shit. It was just we just
in the concept phase, we had the idea of the rituals and to ritualize almost everything and to bring everything on that kind of channel, and we had to reduce the amount of metaphor caused to the environment. So like we mainly in the communication, because the action they were the same, but we didn't communicate them anymore like as an altar or as a resurrection tombs, but we start to give them names more attached to the industrial fabric vocabulary. So there were compost box, fermentation room, and connection and normal names. So in that one we had to also reduce the amount of reader. But at the beginning in the mind also the Saturnalia at the end they worked quite well also in that sense, because it was a lot the idea of building these kind of rituals. And also the problem like once you start to address it as a fabric, so people were seeing it as work, and so nobody anymore wanted to help us because it was work. If there would have been the possibility of let them understand they were priest or someone important, maybe they would have worked differently. But
yeah, that's super interesting, and that's I guess that's where my fascination with all the names and stuff comes from.
Yeah, but this was also the concept really. The toilet as the temple where you make the shit, the holy divinity, which is a holy thing that then resurrects over time in the resurrection tombs, and then becomes black soil with black coal. It becomes a holy thing because then it's used in a garden to make plants.
And shit is so taboo, and waste is so taboo.
And that's also why the temple was higher, it was elevated, and it was quite central. And it had a podium as well, so there were many bands playing like this beatboxer things, events really on the temple, on the toilet to celebrate, celebrate all these acts of shit.
So that's why you added all these kind of actions and events.
Yeah. But then
not
of
only
course
to
when
expand the
all
program, but to cross things that don't usually cross, like body expression and
it's a very clear way to explain it because it is really what it's doing.
And you felt it worked like this,
it was very difficult because then of course the name changed and all the religious aspects were gone, and then it became a factory, and it became a little bit different than what it could have been, I think. But nonetheless it was really interesting, and I think also a lot of people were very interested in it.
But I mean, the idea was to change a little bit habits that shape societies through role play, right? Like So, but that was not really successful. I mean, we understood it like that, and maybe a couple of more people, but not the majority.
But it's very hard to analyze the effects because they're not immediate. In kids, they can stay there in the back of their mind until one day it works, or probably not.
I mean, lots of teachers from schools liked it a lot because they thought that something like this would be great in the school, for example.
Yeah. So this is more enters the world of pedagogy.
With all the play, with all the play of becoming a priest or becoming something else than just a toilet keeper.
Yeah. So some practical questions. How were the opening hours? Did you have any?
We had there were opening hours, but we also had, for instance, for the toilets, a key in the farmhouse. There was a farmhouse, so if you wanted to use a toilet, you could ask for the key in the farmhouse, because of course if it's super open, you will have homeless people sleeping in there, you will have a lot of problems, and also it is quite delicate, like you can't take antibiotics and go to the toilet there, because then of course you kill all the bacteria that are needed for this fermentation, otherwise it's
so in this you had signs?
We had signs and a lot of symbols, and we had a lot of infographics all over the place to explain it as clear as we could. But still, of course.
But
Yeah.
still, people
but if-
started mixing food.
But if you drink a beer, you
Yeah, that's fine. It's just because
medicine.
just actually antibiotics because it kills bacteria. That's what it does. So and it's very strong.
And you need the bacteria.
Yeah, so to ferment the shit. Otherwise, it stays like a liquor and it stinks like hell when you open it.
Were you able to count how many shits or how many people used it in the end?
We can count it in liters, no? Andrea, do you know it in liters?
Yeah, at the end, we never really finalized the calculation. But was something like 6 barrels of shit and the same of pee. So 6 by 60 was 360 liters of shit, something like that, 300 liters of shit. But we don't know many people. But the nicest thing was it in the shit, in one of the shit barrel we found a school grammar book of French. That some guys probably was particularly pissed with the teacher and he decided to throw it in the shit.
So, looking back at the list of questions that we have, does this total of shit in the barrel equate to your proudest moment, or is that something else?
I have a question of what, but Valentina kind of explained the proudest, and probably this one is
the biggest failure then I think it's this incident with this girl in the toilet. It was like kind of a rape in the
But
toilet.
that was not depending.
That was not our.
I mean, if you put a public toilet on the
There's nothing we
neighborhood where
could foresee.
kids use whatever other stuff.
No, but I mean, it did happen. And it was not very.
Yeah.
Was,
No, but it's talking about the like what happens in public space in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So when you're being
real.
But for me, the biggest failure is that the ministry who commissioned us to do this project,
yeah,
then just build normal flushing toilets in this country. Yeah. I mean, so there was no valuable knowledge exchange there. Okay, we tested something, it worked. We had created a really sophisticated business plan of how this project could be implemented as a job, because this the ministry pays people to take care of this park, right? So there is a job available. The only thing we had to do would be to train these gardeners, the caretakers, to deal also with the waste that it comes to toilet and find a way so that this then goes somewhere out of the city, right? So there was some logistics there involved. And
that exposes a lot. This big failure. Really,
failure. Yeah, I don't know.
not of the project, but of
The thing is that whatever we do, we cannot change in institutions on a long-term level. We change it for.
Yeah, I mean,
6
I think the
months.
maximum impact we had is we had slides on the back as well. Like you enter the toilet normally and you go out through a slide, which is I don't know, to follow the shit line somehow. It's kind of like don't be afraid to dive after your shit. I don't know, some idea, but it's nice. So we had a lot of kids playing there. And I think the fact that we did that and we had so many children there, I think somehow these kids, they must know that they're playing in the toilets. And because there's like just a toilet.
I mean, they were using the toilet.
And they were also using the toilet, so I think just the fact that for these kids to see a project that is not afraid of shit and that it's not like making it into a very dirty taboo thing, but kind of treats it as something fun and nice.
So it's community, but personal level.
I think that maybe has some impact.
With institutions, there was no.
I think when these kids are old enough to be in institutions, maybe
they'll be politicians.
And then what we did after that to show that it's really possible to do something that is economico-scientific competition initiated by the economy, for making different kind of economic models that more based on maximum certification. So I think that our scene would be kind of realistic if the local agents would like to collaborate and really start to imagine a different
Yeah, and then
future.
there's the post project
Yeah.
because it gets published, it's on the website,
But
and
they all just wanted to have a good image for this 6 months. So
6 months,
you know, that everything is cute and nice.
usually the
And
name.
there is the ship there.
But it doesn't
Amazing
matter so
grass.
much. I mean,
No, but it
it's-
should,
yeah.
I think it should bring a reflection on why are we staging all this in the context of a festival for a period of time and then not kind of make it long-lasting or include it into, I don't know, a development of policy, for example.
Yeah.
So that we say, okay, now we're pushing a policy for dry toilets in public parks, whatever.
Yeah.
But it makes you think, why are we spending so much public money on a festival? And it kind of then has this theatrical
So actually,
thing, no? And it's not like really being taken into consideration as a possibility, as a real possibility.
But that's something that you will, I guess, take on if you do this similar project in another context. You will have this knowledge.
Yeah, but the idea of the park design that will bring local players, local institutions, and not this kind of, oh, we bring international guests so that they can display for 3 months a little nice installation.
and we took
they-
there what they asked actually,
Exactly.
and we brought it to
So it's talking about like
different
a witness
and they were like, oh no, this is too much.
It's that there is a witness in the festival organization, no? And the people that are not able to deal with
But
their
I
own
think
local authorities.
this one was the only problematic project because all the others they stayed in it, and I think indeed I thought that it is a difficult thing because full-time person to clean it, maintain it, you have to store barrels of shit and everything of it. So I mean, there is
but
just
I
no
mean,
infrastructure for it, and it would be
Of course,
very.
we never asked that our toilet stays because we designed it only
Yeah,
for 6 months.
yeah.
But they could buy, these toilets exist, and they have really
Yeah, of course.
nicely designed system that, you
Like
know,
pre-
just a big
Yeah.
truck comes once in 6 months and empties it. And
You have
that's
them
it.
now in festivals, no?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very standardized system now.
Like the compost box?
Festivals, really?
If you go to Fusion now, you have.
We actually got
all
contacted by the director of what was it again? Tomorrowland.
Yeah, but not seriously.
No, yeah, no, but he was interested and he came for a meeting to see. He was I mean not to hire us to do it or something, but he was interested to see it at least, which is already telling something about that there is this awareness of they know that these exist and they are a bit interested. It's just that it's just not there yet that they are, or for them it's not yet an option. Maybe in
But
some years from now. But
What we did as kind of a protest the last day, where we had this presentation of all the projects and how things evolved in park design. Luisa did our presentation, and then she said, and here we have a petition to ask the Ministry of Environment Brussels to put compost toilets in public parks. And then everybody resigned.
Yeah.
But you know, this situation you just described kind of demonstrates how deeply or how shallowly the organization is rooted in the ideology, going after these things exist. Now, the dry toilets, they're super easy to actually maintain. There's like a know-how, and the trained staff is there to like control this and so on. But there's also the question like how, like you said before, the network of these urban farmers or the people who actually need this really highly nutrient-rich soil, how much they need it, who can distribute it, where, and so on. And probably there are so many regulations, like health and safety regulations.
It's not allowed to store, for instance, biogas in your house. It's just you can't. It's illegal to do it. And of course, there's also a lot of lobbying against it because like companies like buy it and like put manure or fertilizer companies. Of course, they would not allow like shit being reused and like all the soil, it can be much more fertile, much more sustainable, it can regenerate quality harvest after harvest, but then they can't sell all their
So that's
chemicals,
obviously
so of course,
conflict.
yeah, so of course this won't happen.
Yeah, it's a very interesting.
We can try on hydrogen, we just don't do it because we oil.
Yeah, in Sweden you can't compost. No.
Yeah.
You can't have a compost bucket.
It's insane.
Yeah, you know it's the waste management company. The lobby or whatever they do to not allow this.
So yeah, we know all these things are there.
That's a
It's just,
systemic problem and a big, big discussion about kind of stuff.
And your project really shows the true potential of this situation. And then the city goes and builds its toilets across the street. Wash it away.
Yeah, but it's great that you talk about it and that you expose it because it's part of the story. It's quite a good, not good ending, but one important one to see, an important failure.
yeah, and I think these, and like I said, like the fact that these kind of festivals, they are looking for alternatives, it already shows that there is a kind of slowly moving more interest developing towards those kind of alternative technologies.
And that's a positive view.
Yeah, yeah.
More cynical is that they kind of use it in
It
a
just
way.
goes too slow.
It's just for the photo and you know, the coolness and all this kind of stuff. But
I guess very common also for this kind of festival that they time of the festival they get a jury, like people, artistic people that look after you guys, and they get them in. And after the festival, they're also gone. So it's like the administration to make decisions, and they can't really handle it.
Yeah, we had that
We all
case
have
in Barcelona, you remember?
Yeah, like we won the call, and I think the price was 2,000 euros. You could do it, and you get 2,000 euros to build it or something. And then we arrived there, yes, we fly there with our proposal, ready to do it, yes, there's no money, sorry. It's like, what do you expect us now to put of my own money into it? So there's like, of course, like, discussions like you probably.
No, the main thing is we were left completely alone for almost 2 weeks in the sun, like trying all the conditions. At the moment we did the party and we opened up the space, but in Barcelona completely forbidden to like use public space for kind of social gatherings and stuff. And we did it anyway that night, and then the jury came, like brought by the curator, and he was showing the crowd all of the details, how young people are listening, and like really exciting our we were like, yeah, an hour of like for a picture.
It's more about kind
And about the pictures.
Cool.
What do you guys? What's the next project for you guys? What's next on the agenda?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Winter, man.
Writing some applications.
There are some possible follow-up of the toilet, of the dry toilet system.
Yeah.
We did a submission here in Brussels for a festival in the summer to build a small movable version that would be a preacher instead of a temple. That we go around but there we want already to involve the local people from the beginning. So we have been contacted by an organization of a festival that would take care of providing also us already some people association that they want to use it, and they will take care of all the stuff. So it's because what for us was a bit hard this time to manage was the maintenance and all the other stuff. So there is this thing. Then I think with the blue economy also we are a bit having some follow-ups, and Valentina is also bringing up the temple in another place maybe.
Where?
You were saying about Berlin, I don't know, about trying to break schools also in Berlin and to see what if something can come out.
Okay, no, we had this idea that the temple of Holy Seat would be great on Temple of. So, and then it could be Temple of Holy Seat.
But also the Luxembourg.
Because, but that's
Something.
that's something
we
that
And again, next year to mosque. You guys pick your place.
No,
No, for Tempelhof, it's perfect.
I mean, all these
Yeah,
gardens can have free soil and they can
actually,
use
because there
soil.
is an already local community
needed.
who needs
Yeah,
it,
people just
exactly. So
piss
then they will
everywhere.
take care of it. If it's like their
Did you make
personal-
contacts yet?
No,
actually, we should
We have
check
one
out
contact.
they have the whole
Talk to
participation.
Marcus.
Marcus, like,
Yes.
Hmm?
Connect.
yeah, they have this after the referendum. They opened up like a participatory process, and they were inviting people to kind of propose.
Yeah, there is a big.
Until it
I was at one of these.
You were?
Yeah, just
And?
a little bit. Yeah, it's open call basically. I think they
But
all
now we
have.
have a new mayor, and
He's
So
the guy who was against.
he was against the whole thing.
who launched this open call?
This
No, it was not an open call.
It was not
It
an
was like, okay, we fucked it up with the whole participation process before the referendum. Decided against the Senate redevelopment plan. So now we kind of want to hear what you guys have to say, and they're kind of building up a new. I don't know how it's.
With open call, I mean, there was the atmosphere of them saying, hey, we are happy for ideas and we want people to involve and bring ideas.
And they
So I
have
had
from
the feeling,
like 100%. What that they were suggesting.
Yeah, from them.
From them.
Yeah.
We should contact them.
Yeah, so that's next summer. Right?
Next summer.
Long time ago.
This summer.
Maybe
Coming
this
summer.
This summer. Coming summer.
Then we should-
Yeah.
Maybe we should wrap it up soon.
Do you, like, to bring it a bit back to the thing of the practice and how you work, do you do these reflections usually after projects? Like, take time to think about these things and how it went, failures, what went right?
Not so
or is it
deliberative,
more
but
informal,
it's more
between
informal.
2 and then 3 and then phone? And
Yeah, no, we don't do it, but it's a good idea actually. We should.
because I know some who do it and it's quite
Super
good,
helpful, yeah.
like structured.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Right,
did it
protocol.
after Barcelona,
Yeah.
when we came up
Yeah.
with a new name, then we really
Exactly.
took time to share.
After Barcelona, when
Really, about
and on the way to the
yeah. In Juba, in the restaurant there, it happened.
Okay, now.
But also after the we have some real space, we also talked a lot about
Yeah, but not very.
yeah,
in an
not
organized-
official. No.
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
not official, and it's also scattered. So, for example, I didn't participate in this Brussels reflection, and Andrea and Vita didn't participate in the Berlin reflection. So
Yeah.
So sometimes there's this need
it's
to-
reflected but scattered.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
maybe we should do group therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do.
It would be nice to do it indeed.
Collective,
Collective group therapy.
collective
Yeah.
group therapy.
Therapy disaster.
We dress up.
Just for therapy.
Yeah.
So, in collective disaster, what does everybody do? Is there architects and there's a graphic designer and
Artist.
I'm an artist. I'm not an architect.
Come on.
Valentina is an
I'm not
artist
an
now.
I'm an artist. No.
Change her.
no, I was asking, what's everyone's skill base?
Yeah.
You could run through it.
It's 3 architects, graphic designer, and
But the idea is to get more weird, different people. Like-
we have.
Let's say theoretically, there is, for example, a project in I don't know where, about in Paris, let's say, about germination of mushrooms. Would be nice to collaborate the chemistry that with someone that we can connect with. That always come from our network, and then these people, it will also kind of become part of the collective disaster. So like, I really. This is then again very personal. I really don't see it as a closed structure of 5 people, 6 people, 8 people, but like the ambition, what I would like, what I think for me would be interesting is to really have a very flexible structure that can incorporate different situation and can kind of parasite on different situation of the project. and then having different, obviously the professionals that you need for the project.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Biologist in the thing, proper.
yeah.
No.
And also Ion
And
is
also Yumi, who is kind of
a nice person.
Everything blocked. Hello? They're blocked.
Yeah.
It's only us.
We can do a freestyle.
Barely got frozen.
You're based in Brussels, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, and are you from Belgium originally, or?
No, I'm Italian.
Ah, okay. And
we before we lived in Rotterdam.
Ah, okay.
They're back. Hello?
Yes, you're here.
You're back, guys.
Hello?
Now you're gone again.
Yeah. Andrea?
You disappear for like 2 minutes, huh? Do you know?
Oh.
Didn't even notice.
You were offline for 1 minute. What was?
We lost connection.
Yeah.
We have a Christmas party.
Yes, we have.
We are very late already.
You have to go.
Yeah, we're.
No, but if you have something to say.
I have a question I want to ask Peter.
Yeah?
What's the future of architecture?
It's a very good question. You can buy the book online. You can read all.
The Peter answer.
But after the 2 books, are you any closer?
Not so much the vision to. I mean, it's an insolvable question, no? It's ridiculous to have a singular answer on it. But I'm making a 3rd one, and I got the idea now to make it every 2 years, and to kind of just see every 2 years, to have kind of a poll on with other architects and people that are just interested, and just I don't know, sense a little bit the situations in a 2-year interval. But what it is, I think now it's a very it's very open. It's many things for different people.
So do you think like obviously it's not you maybe don't know, but do you think if you had done your book like 50 years ago, everyone would say similar things? And it's a hypothetical question.
No, for sure. It's very time-based, of course. Eh? I think the main line of the 2 that I've done now, I think they're very close together, and I think the main red line is indeed no more star architecture, no more parametrics, but more bottom-up, sustainable, blah blah blah. It's all these kind of things, which is what you can expect, of course. But I think the next one might be a little bit different. Yeah, I think the idea is maturing a little bit, and I think the next one could have some more answers that are a little bit more practical, a little bit more about the economy, perhaps, or a little bit more practical solutions on where we go with this idea. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Stay tuned for
only answer. No.
The word.
Yeah. It's in Mexico as well. And
amazing.
actually, the Asians I thought were a little bit more skyscraper, but I think it depends. Yeah.
They need a crisis.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah, it also depends where in Asia. It's also so big. It's not really. But yeah, I think the general basis all over the world is I mean this whole trend of looking at favelas and informal structures and looking at how bottom-up really works and how it goes. Yeah, and then mirror it, comparing it to like all this kind of research, which is really yeah now or already a little bit in the past. I think now it's already advancing a little bit more to finding solutions or finding like doing some things. So I think we'll see more of that, and I think we'll see in the architecture here much more attention for details, for actual purpose, not so much yeah about crazy space, but about use. What are the functions that need to be here, and just more spending more time in the details. And,
yeah, it's great.
I think
continuation.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what's coming out there now. That's yeah. We'll see.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
This was very disastrous.
Oh, it was not so bad. We made worse things. That was not.
That's for sure.
Only Moscow was not bad.
Yeah.
It's Moscow, yeah.
Well, Luisa, we're sorry we were too late.
Yeah, she was. I don't know. Now I messaged her, but I think she got back into the conference, so it's she couldn't make it anymore. I don't know. The deal was at 5 or at 6? Was it 5? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were right.
There was some problem, but I mean it's fine. Thanks to everybody. It's cool to have these worldwide connections.
Yeah.
Come to Brussels for New Year's Eve.
Yeah. We managed to find some more people for Brussels. I think also other people.
Yeah, but it's fine. So all the people from Brussels, they go somewhere else. So we'll have all people that are not from Brussels staying in Brussels, and all the people from Brussels, they go somewhere else.
It's better and fair.
Yeah, it's usual. It's normal. It's good.
Hopefully the whole city is gonna be empty in hours. To colonize it.
We would see. We need to still make some shitty work, you know, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we still need to go and make some shit.
Yeah, still working with food.
There's some like barrels that only now after this month time.
Okay. Yeah.
This is why we are inviting people to the New Year's Eve party. They don't know.
Yeah.
But
New Year's party. But first,
It's gonna be a workshop. We're gonna. All right.
Okay, thanks a lot.
all right, guys. Thank you very much. Greetings also from Luisa, and we see each other soon. Have a nice weekend.
See you guys. Enjoy the party.
Bye.
Jumping.
Bye.
Bye.